Bam, bam.
Back once again for the Renegade Master.
We didn't fall out. We managed to make it to episode 2 of season 5. Everybody, we didn't fall out.
This is everybody's just waiting for it. I mean, like, you fuckers are just watching lads climbing Everest, waiting for them to fall 100 yards from the top of it.
Oh yeah, and that's what there's haters going to hate, Jerry.
Haters going to hate Tom.
In the immortal words of I don't know, it's Taylor Swift. Was it Taylor Swift? Am I right? If I got that right.
Almost certainly, Tom. But how are you all keeping? And welcome back to the Tom and Jerry Show podcast. I'm Jerry McBride, and that's Tom O'Mahony.
Well,
Irish comedians of note. Back here with the 30-some-odd episode of our esteemed podcast.
Yeah, if you are just joining us, I can't believe that you're actually jumping in at this section here. Doesn't make a difference, though. In no way. Like, literally, these will work in any situation. It's what this is, and we definitely, I think we should bring it up in every episode. We are the vice grip of podcasting, in that we can be put in any situation and hold our own. Won't be the specific thing you're looking for, but it'll get you out of a fucking spot. Do you know what I mean?
Oh, damn, Tom, that's kind of beautiful.
Isn't that right? Isn't that? Gee, I just made that up right there.
For once, I've nothing to add. That's perfect.
Wow. Gee, now, people, I can tell you, I have hit the nail on the head. If McBride has nothing to add in that situation, then by Jesus Christ.
If you shut McBride up, you're fucking working hard.
Woo.
But without a shadow of a doubt, yeah, here we are. What can we say about the show, Tom?
You do the housekeeping. You do the housekeeping. Go on.
We're well out of ideas. No, come listen to the podcast that has been described as all right by several people reviewing us on Apple Music. The podcast that refuses to die, and a good way to get out of the house, as my wife describes it.
This is, you know what? I mean, we travel the length and breadth of the world, would you believe it, in people's ears. The amount of people that get in contact. We're not the sort of ones that divides people's opinions, because the sort of people that listen to the Tom and Jerry Show are sound, non-dosey sort of people. Ironically, our biggest following probably is on Twitter, where a lot of doses do live, but I think we've managed to sidestep. And if we haven't, we actually don't give a fuck either. We have sidestepped the majority of doses. Those people that listen to the Tom and Jerry Show are the sound sort that get the crack. They know they're not going to learn a lot here. They know we're not going to fact check anything. They know that we're probably going to be wrong on things, but people are happy to go along with that in an old school way, kind of like a bar where there's no reception on your phone, where you can't fact check. Was that fella in Batman back in 1998? Maybe he was. Maybe he wasn't. Let's agree to fucking not know. And that's kind of what the Tom and Jerry Show is all about.
Yes, indeed, Tom. I do believe it spawned that one review that I liked, which was a 3-star review that said, "Is there any need for all this shite?"
Your mothers can be so harsh, can't they?
I gotta tell you. But if you are in the humor of giving us a review, you give us an L 5-star review there on Apple Music. It helps with the algorithm and brings more wonderful people to the show. But let's not do all the hardcore heavy lifting at the front, Tom. Let's just have a bit of a crack. How are you keeping, pal? It's been a long time since I've seen you.
I know, I'm very excited. I saw you the last day drinking a Heineken Zero can, and I don't have any Heineken Zero cans. But what I do want to tell you about this Heineken can is that I got 9 of these for $6.99 because somebody damaged all the cans accidentally. Tesco's, don't you know?
That is really something, Tom. Although when I said I haven't seen you for a while, I mean it's because you're always wearing real leaf camo.
Oh, I know. Well, I do enjoy it. And I do enjoy the
It's like you're right beside me and I'm like, Tom, how long have you been there? Hours, pal, hours.
The originality. I feel like that guy, I should really take it to the next level. Do you remember your man in Naked Gun that started dressing up as like the chair and stuff like that?
Yeah.
Take it to the next level.
Yeah.
Camouflage. Just start stepping into fucking people's homes, just disguising myself as a washing machine and stuff like that. Actually, that's me behind you, Jerry, right now. Just I know. But, we don't see enough of each other, especially not in the real world. But this is about as close as, goddamn it, we're going to get, and it's working just fine as it is right now. You've got a sexy mic, as somebody once described. McBride was like honey being poured in your ear. Not such a pleasant thing, but I'm pretty sure they meant it in a good way.
They meant it in a good way, you know?
It will dehair your ear.
Like the teacher that used to say that Jerry would be intelligent if he tried. You know, that's a compliment. I'll take that. Yeah, I could be if I tried, which I don't want to, so here we are.
I'm excited, Jerry. I'm excited. I got some new tools this week. I got a Milwaukee Impact driver, so it was on special, and I'm very happy about that.
I got a DeWalt 18-volt cordless.
18-volt, you can't go fucking wrong. You can't go wrong. They're all 18-volt these days. Anybody listening at the moment, if you want to get something in the long run, don't be going for 12-volt. I have a 12-volt there.
What are you going to do with it?
It ain't going to hammer it home. And it ain't going to hammer it home if you really are getting serious, which I'm getting fairly serious in the pallet front. I must send you on some pictures. I'm going kind of mad on the pallet front.
I love a pallet.
Oh, I've developed a couple of things now that are, you're going to like them. You're going to like them. At no point would you ever want to buy them off me, but you will go, I'll do that too someday. Do you know that kind of way? Because that's pallets. The amount of people that gone, and you start selling them. I'm like, nobody's going to buy them. Out of principle, because they'll go, that guy didn't spend any money, bar on the handful of screws, the saw.
Do you know what I think you'd be good at, Tom? And we purchased a couple of them at Christmas time. Was there are people that saw down, get trees, get logs, and cut them into little discs, and then you put the discs on top of each other and you spray paint it, and it's a snowman. It's a wooden snowman. You see how you do that? Yeah,
so he's going to be. Okay, so he's going to be just all little discs, just getting smaller and smaller and smaller to make the body, and then bigger and making the head. And then you paint, you nail googly eyes on top of it, and there you go, and you sell them for like 50 quid. And you say, you look at them and go like, shit, we bought them, and you could turn around and go like, but you'd make it for less yourself. Yeah, you would, but are you gonna? Well, I can, because I kind of made a bunch of those this week. We felled 9 trees out the back, so.
Oh, well, Tom, you are sitting on a festive gold mine, my friend.
Good Jesus, are you serious?
Yeah. Do you have logs?
Yeah, lots.
Do you have nails?
Yeah, lots.
Do you have googly eyes? No, get on fucking Amazon and buy some, pal. You're sitting on money, son.
We actually have a bag of googly eyes in the drawer.
You got a bag of googly eyes? Okay. Well, tell me what more you'd fucking need for a wooden snowman, Tom Bear.
Jesus Christ, I need to fucking branch into for the want of a better phrase, I need to branch into fucking more creative shit. I just thought nobody would buy that shit off me. Because everybody not put that together. By,
I bought about €100 worth from a lady from Mullingar.
Well, this coming Christmas, you're going to be buying it from a man in Tipperary.
I want mates rates. Absolutely.
I'll do you a full-size fucking snowman in fucking timber for 50 quid. Are you joking me? I'll bring that bastard up to you for 50 fucking quid. He's going to weigh about 100 kilos, but,
I mean, like, if as long as he goes up into the attic on January, Tom.
Just leave him out there.
I don't want to fucking take him. I don't want to take him apart and slaughter him into the roof of my house like a fucking life-size
Leave
money
him
bank.
out there and just keep on changing him as per the season. Oh, he's an Easter bunny snowman.
He's an Easter bunny. It's St. Patrick. Getting a little tummy there, Pat.
Rolls around. Oh, look, he's a really fat scarecrow pumpkin guy.
Yeah,
let's set fire to him, get rid of him. Great.
Here he is going back to school.
Or if you've any friends kicking off the other foot come the 12th of July, they can have him and just throw him up on whatever bonfire they can make an effigy of whoever they want from it.
They fucking love bonfires, Tom, don't they?
I passed the pile of pallets the other day, and I was going, that's a fine pile of pallets, but I wouldn't have them because it was belonging to a guy who owns a coal yard. But they're left out all pre-soaked in coal dust. And you're thinking, lads from the north should be driving down for. They are possibly the most premium pallets on the island right now, like soaked in coal dust.
If you threw a match in the air in Belfast, it would probably light those pallets. That's how flammable they are.
Yeah. So I'm thinking about possibly just liberating them from the bloke because he doesn't want them anymore and selling them for like 300 quid, like a starter pack. You can buy the little fire starter logs to get your this would start your bonfire. This would be your apex. This is the one you want. This is your keystone fucking pallet to start your bonfire. Just put that at the bottom. Don't worry about petrol. Just this would be your keystone. You need this at the bottom. Tom's fire starter fucking pallets. I mean, the name writes, the fucking company name writes itself.
I gotta tell you, Tom, we could talk for hours about sectarianism, and we're not going to. It's not that kind of podcast, and It wouldn't solve anything to begin with. All right. And I'm not condoning anything that goes on up on the 12th or any time of the year. And I'm certainly not condoning the blatant sectarianism and slogans that adorn said bonfires when they go up on the 12th. And I'm certainly not, advocating the burning of more fossil fuels than you really kind of absolutely have to. With that being said, Tom,
Good.
there's like a 10-year-old in me that looks at those bonfires and says, that is the bonfire I dreamt of when I was a child.
Absolutely.
When Halloween came around and all you had was like 3 or 4 tires and a couple of pallets and a bit of a hedge and all this kind of thing, and you've been dragging it to the one spot for a month to burn for Halloween. And it's an absolutely pitiful bonfire for Halloween. And then you look at what they burn on the 12th, and they have architects working on them, Tom. They've got
the Burj Khalifa,
metal spikes driven into the ground. It's the Burj Khalifa of fucking bonfires with a molten core of tires.
So imagine how well my Tom's fire. I couldn't sell him as Tom. I could sell him as Tom. I sell him as Tom. Maybe something. No, Gordon. Gordon is quite a good name to be selling them to that side of the fence, if you know what I mean. Gordon's fire starter pallets. One match, and you can hear Fenian's. No, listen. We'll move swiftly along.
We'll move swiftly on. Look, it's amazing, Tom, that we managed to get by a brief chat about unionism without giving out about it.
Yeah, I know.
We could find the good in anything when we want, can't we?
But look, pallets. The crux of the whole story was pallets. So I mean, we love
pallets and bonfires, which we do kind of love. But you know what, Tom? Even though we can talk about something like that without giving out, that doesn't mean to say that we don't give out. Because long-time listeners to this podcast will know that we are prone to give out every time now and then.
Yeah, it tends to kind of lean that way, all right. Just naturally, organically, just lean into it. So as well to just put an actual hat on it and give it a name, isn't it?
It absolutely is, Tom. Like the crusty stuff that leaks out of a battery, the badness just eventually comes out of us. So we've put it all in a segment that kicks off our podcast, and we call it Giving Out Yards.
Conan, what is best in life? To crush your enemies, see them driven before you, and to hear the lamentation of their women. That is good. That is good.
Now, I had a crack off it last week. I think it's only right and just that you throw the fucking slitter of fury into the air and hit it with the badness that is McBride with a Hurley, please, if you wouldn't mind, and give out yards about something.
Well, I'm a give out yards here a bit, Tom. And like, again, this is not a situation where I'm like, here's giving out and here's a solution. Usually
there'll be next to nothing solved here now.
Except this week, I think I might have a solution.
Oh, I'm not sure if I'm comfortable about that.
Well, if it makes you feel any more comfortable, Tom, with the solution, nobody's going to be happy.
Oh, great. Good. Yes. Now I'm happy with that.
So what I'm going to give out about this week, Tom, is TV shows getting cancelled right in the middle of a fucking storyline.
Yes.
I'll tell you what we'll do, Tom. We'll do this without naming names, okay? Because I'm pretty sure we could talk for a full hour and be like, and do you remember such and such a thing? Yes. And do you remember this happened? And so on and so forth and so back. So we've all got 1,000 examples, all right? Here's the thing, Tom. I remember TV shows were good and you watched them and they pootled along and they finished up.
Start, middle, and end. Start, middle, and end. Yeah.
Okay? And I fucking love that, okay? But I remember far, far more TV shows that didn't do that. I remember far, far more TV shows that started good, got very popular, all of a sudden needed another season, kept rocking, and eventually just fucking cancelled in the middle of nowhere, leaving storylines unresolved and fuck knows what going on. The one and it's the TV shows that actually do finish up that people tend to give out about, like, oh, the finale of that wasn't all that great. Great example of that, Tom, was Quantum Leap. Loved it as a child. Went on about its business. And it wrapped. You know what? You might not have liked the ending to the show, but fuck me, it wrapped
the
up.
Ending again. I can remember I know I watched the ending.
The ending. It came up that Dr. Samuel Beckett's bouncing around the place, but he bounced into for what was, for all intents and purposes, heaven.
Yes.
And had the option to go home, but his friend would be sad, or help his friend and quantum leap around the place forever. And he chose to help his friend and fucking quantum leaped around the place forever. Not a satisfactory ending to the show. Many people upset. But Tom, at least you fucking know what happened to Dr. Samuel Beckett. What did the A-Team do? The A-Team just fucking wandered around the place. They never cleared their name. They never went home. They're just dicking around the place. It just fucking stopped. Did Michael Knight ever get to fucking do whatever the hell he was doing? No. You know, and you would have thought that, okay, that's like one of these sort of cop shows, like, you know, CSI, Tom, is a great show because, you know what, CSI, they're never chasing one big bad. They're never chasing like one guy that is going to go unresolved.
Yeah.
I can watch that all day, every day. But there are shows now that I've started watching, and Netflix is a cunt for this, Tom. I roll out the C word for Netflix.
That's fine.
Netflix will roll you out a 10-episode TV show and cancel it just like that.
Do they?
Absolutely. It's happened several times. There's been twice in the last calendar year that myself and my good wife devoted our afternoons and evenings to watching this hot new show. It gets 10 episodes in, and then it's like, oh, by the way, we've cancelled that. There won't be a second season. Now, there are shows, we'll get, if you want to get deep in this, join us on the Twitter, okay? There are shows where it's like, okay, you know what? That didn't really end on a cliffhanger, so I can say, all right, fair enough. But there are other shows that, with their last episode, it's a cliffhanger episode. And then it's like, oh, by the way, we're cancelled.
For Jesus' sake, I'm even getting annoyed. But why would you give something, like if you're...
Why would you give something a cliffhanger?
Yeah. Wrap it up.
If you're writing a TV show, okay, wrap it the fuck up. And if you get a second season, wonderful. Tell another story. That, you know, I said I wasn't going to give examples, but Stranger Things is a decent example of that. For their first season, they wrapped it up.
Yeah.
The boys were lost, now the boys are found. Wrap it up, brilliant. And then you get a second season, and all of a sudden it's like, oh, well, I guess the boys are going to go on another adventure. Fair enough.
Greedy bastards. That's what that was.
With the greedy bastards, they've gotten Stranger Things, if we are going to name names, they got greedy on that third season because it's like, oh, here's a big cliffhanger. Is so-and-so dead or is he not? And I'm like, all right, you motherfuckers, right, okay, now I got to wait for that to come back. And I don't mind that, but I like neatness, Tom. I like things being tied off.
You are, I mean, no better man that has ever boxed away his season's decorations. Like, Jerry McBride is OCD when it comes to tidying a thing away.
I like things just to be just so.
Yeah, no, I get it. But
it's
also
the
that third season of fucking Stranger Things, if like that was too much, they had too much bread.
If ever there was a time to wrap it up, that was it.
If ever a crowd had too much bread and not enough butter, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, exactly.
Fucking spread them out, fair fucking thing. Like, they pushed the old gummy lad out there, out front and center, because he's kind of adorable to look directly at. The lad with missing teeth, and he's spitting and all over the place. And, you know, I get it, but it was kind of, it had lost everything. And then, as you said, is it as a result of the greed? They went, like, that's fair pushing the fair pushing, you know, producers or production companies are going, We've written a cliffhanger in, so you know yourself, lads.
Wow,
bust out the checkbook there, lads, because we've kind of left it up for season 4. Oh, right, you didn't think to wrap it up there, no? You didn't.
You didn't know. And did you renew? Here's what happens with Netflix a lot. It's like they'll buy a show on the cheap because it's not expensive, and there you go. But all of a sudden, if it's very, very popular, and they won a second season, but it was made so cheap because everybody was just signed up for one season.
Yeah.
Now everybody be like, oh, a season 2. Well, that wasn't in the contract. So we've got to get everybody back. And they've become rock stars on the back of this show. So now they want all this money and blah, blah, blah. And Netflix will just go, actually, no, it's cheaper for us to just rock over and start a whole new show. So stick your cliffhanger up your arse. And I'm here like, you know, that's terrible for all those people that have lost jobs. I'm sure they'll act again. I'm sure they'll fucking rig again and produce and all that kind of thing. But I've wasted 10 valuable hours of my life. You know,
investing in this fucking carry on, and that's the fucking kind of shit they pull. You know,
and it gets to be times where it's vexing. I watch a show called Cobra Kai, the Karate Kid show.
Yes, yeah.
And like nobody ever thought that would make it past first season, and they ended season 1 on a cliffhanger. And I'm like, all right, lads, don't get me wrong, I want to see more of this show, but it's not promised.
Yeah,
you know.
Yeah,
and then it's like, okay, here's season 2, and it's another cliffhanger. I'm like, you fuckers are pushing it. This is a great show. I love it, but please, 3 seasons and we're done. Wrap this shit up. And it's like 3rd season, and let's end on another cliffhanger. I'm like, long runs the fox, lads. Yous are going to get fucking caught. I like this show. I wish as well. But yous are going to get caught, and you're going to dump me having watched this fucking thing for 3 years, just nowhere with nothing.
I can tell you here now, Jerry. Did you start watching that from day dot when it came out?
Day dot, Tom.
Day dot, fair enough. But I can guarantee you one thing. Season 1 had ended and they hadn't done mega numbers. Lockdown kicked in. And everybody retrospectively went back and went, fucking Cobra Kai, because they fucking watched everything else that Netflix had to offer. They had one in the fucking offing anyway, because guaranteed they got the likes of fucking Johnny, what's his name, for nothing. They got him. Exactly. That lad was fucking backing up silage.
He paid the money.
He was backing up silage before he got that call. Johnny Lawrence. Not a fucking hope. Even fucking Ralph. He was fucking at nothing, turning up probably to Comic-Con once a year, making a few pound.
They were glad of the work. And like, Tom, you could name 100 shows that did this. Fucking Daredevil, Punisher, Jessica Jones, all the Marvel shows. It was like, just cancel. Overnight, you're gone. Contract dispute, you're gone, you're cut. All these stories, they were like, fuck, I've watched 100 hours of this and it's just gone. Okay? And I said I had a solution to this problem.
Okay.
And I've got 2 solutions, okay? From here on out, Tom, I am only going to be watching DVD box sets that have the complete series on the front of it. That I know that this thing ran its course. So I'll watch The Sopranos, because even though you might not like the ending of The Sopranos, it's a fucking ending.
Yeah.
All right?
Yeah.
The whole story is there, okay? The Wire, The West Wing, anything. There's plenty for you to watch. House. Whatever the hell it is, there's plenty for you to watch that, you know what? It's done. It's made. It's not, it might get renewed for season 8, but we don't know. So-and-so got very expensive, so we might need to just write them out overnight. I really feel like it's holding fans to ransom just to be like, hey, you might get another season.
Jerry. I think you're a big in-depth fan and you think about things and you enjoy stories because you're a story writer and stuff like that. I think a lot of people nowadays just bounce around Netflix just going, go on, what old fucking brain toothpaste have you got for me today? Grand, it's finished. Blah, on to the next thing. There's nobody hanging their hat on shows anymore like they used to back in the day. There's nobody.
Yeah, and that's I think like that's a lost art, Tom, and it's so fragile that I don't feel comfortable sitting down to the first episode of anything anymore if I don't know this thing is finishing. If I don't know, like, okay, I'm not going to fucking waste 10 hours to discover that they got to Mars, and are they ever going to get back? Don't know.
It's funny you say that, because
you with me?
We got through a show the other day and it's left on a cliffhanger and I'm going, what?
Are you gonna?
And it was a show we watched through. It was a tough slog because it was dubbed over, which is, there's something lost in translation, as I say, but it was good enough. We stuck with it. And then at the end, it was like they wrapped it up on a fucking Friday evening with a cliffhanger rather than actually putting a bow in the end of the story. Because a lot of cunts don't know how to finish a story. A lot of people they don't know how to finish. Like, I got sent a fucking script. No, I got sent a script for a sketch the other day. It was going to be professionally shot, and I think it was like a proofread now, and I saw gaping holes in it where there was opportunities to have a little punchy smack here, but the rule of 3 wasn't being followed, and then it just petered off in the end. These were 2 people who had written it for this organization, and I couldn't believe. I don't know why they were asking me, because when I rewrote it for them, where it went bam, here's the visual punchline. They were fucking went, yeah, I don't see it like that. So I went, oh no, you're more than welcome to shove it cleanly up your hole. More than welcome. Just don't leave my name anywhere fucking near the thing.
Anywhere near it.
But these were 2 people who felt absolutely it was acceptable to put this thing out because it was just wake and watery. And sure, look at, if it gets people 30 seconds of attention, then grand, that'll do. And I think there's a big devaluation after happening.
There absolutely is, but you know what there also is, Tom? Fucking greed, son, okay?
Oh, yeah.
You get your hit show, and then someone says, let's finish it on a cliffhanger so that we'll hold people ransom that they have to come back for season 2. Whether or not it's promised or not, but we'll hedge our bets. You know what a cliffhanger is, Tom? Fucking lazy writing. You don't know how to fucking tie a thing off, so you're just like...
it.
And then someone came walking through the door. Dun, dun, dun. Find out next week. Batman used to fucking do this, okay? You're not reinventing the wheel, all right? So here's what happens. It gets real popular, so they're like, oh, shit, everybody wants more money about this, so let's make 50 more episodes. Do you have a clear ending in mind? Don't need it. Money's always going to keep coming.
Yeah.
And then two things happen. Either, number one, you find yourself so fucking deep in the water that you're never going to answer all questions. You're never going to have a finale that ties it all together. Or number two, you get fucking cancelled. And nobody gets anything. All right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's all very well and good. Wheels turn, another show will be along in the morning, okay? But, like, there are people by the millions watching these things, investing in them, spending their time, following them over the course of years, okay? That was last year's season, now we have this year's. These things don't come along every week. You gotta fucking put some time into it. And then all of a sudden you find yourself 8 years down the line saying to yourself, fuck me, that was shit, I'm an idiot.
Yeah. Yeah, and you think they don't do that by accident?
No.
It's like,
whereas anybody with a fucking brain in their head would have seen the perfect point round about season 3 where that's where it should have ended.
Yep. Yeah.
You were done.
Oh,
you were done. You were good.
That show we were watching, and they left it on this loosey goosey, thought up on a Friday at 2:00 fucking cliffhanger. I'm like, it's not that I don't get it. It was like, there is no point to this.
There's no point.
The character you've hung it all around was weak threaded through this anyway. Like, he was weakly threaded through it. Like, so you're like, and I guarantee you, the way they kind of led it up throughout, it was this fucking common thread throughout it, that it was going to lead up to this very end scene that was promising to be big and epic and holy fuck. But it was like, that's...
look.
Wow. Have to, ye lazy cunts, on a Friday. Put a fucking bow on that. And nobody was watching you. That's the problem. The boss was out in the golf course going, do you get that? Did you get that done? Oh, fucking, did I get it done?
Did I get it done? Nailed it.
I wouldn't even bother looking at it. You promised it. Smashed it. Nailed it. You're going to love it.
So I said to you at the start of this, Tom, I had fucking solutions for this. Number one, I'm not watching any more TV unless I fucking know it wraps up. And also, I have read reviews of it and says it's good. Because again, I'm not watching 100 hours of TV on the off chance that it's good. And that's another thing, Tom. When did fucking TV become such a penance? You fucking
I'll tell you now.
glanced on this last episode. It became homework. Oh, you gotta give it 2 seasons before it gets good. No, I don't. I need to give it 20 minutes of my time, all right?
Yes, now you're talking. And to be fair, I mean, and they can go over the top too. There's cliffhangers at every fucking corner. I started watching The Man in the High Castle, and the Who was just burned out with the fuck cliffhangers. Genuinely. It was like cliffhangers in the middle of the show. You're like, lads, just plow on with the fucking well story here. And again,
just get it done. And again, it's like fucking stick a cliffhanger on it, and we'll figure out where it goes from that. And don't act like this is... Don't, like I said, it's fucking what Batman did in the 60s. You're not fucking reinventing the wheel. Anyway, Tom, giving out yards isn't the place where there's solutions. I keep fucking telling you, buddy, I got a solution for you, okay? I told you at the start, it's a solution. Nobody's going to like it, but it fucking works. Every TV show from here on out should be 30 episodes long.
I'm with you. I'm fucking with you.
30 episodes.
Tops.
Broken up into 3 seasons of 10 episodes, or 3 seasons of 20 half-hour episodes, whatever it is. But if you can't fucking tell your story in 30 episodes, then you are making shit up.
Oh, yeah. Okay? Once it goes beyond the third one, it's purely for the money. Do you know what I mean?
You want 3 seasons of the show, and then you are fucking done. If you haven't caught the one-armed man in 3 seasons...
If you haven't killed the dragon in 3 seasons...
If you haven't caught the fucking one-armed man in 3 seasons, you belong in fucking jail, Dr. Kimball. Get back on that bus.
I can get on that one.
You're a shit fugitive.
I'll be honest with you. Probably best to just only watch movies. Simple as that. Yeah, no one else.
Tom, it's creeping into movies. It's creeping into movies where it's like, yeah, you get you have your movie, and then it's again naming names. John Wick. John, wonderful story. You wrapped it up, but the second one, the second fucking movie of John
Annoyed
Wick
the shit out of me now, that did.
it ended with John Wick limping away shot, trying to get to wherever it was with a pack of lads chasing him. Tom, in a feature film, it ended with a lad being chased, the hero being chased after being shot in the fucking stomach. Now, what if that movie had done like $30 million at the box office?
Good night, thanks.
Much beloved, but nobody liked it. Thanks for coming, John. Good luck and thanks for the use of the hall.
Yeah.
That story's over, and John Wick is forever running through the streets of New York, bleeding from a gunshot wound to the stomach. Right?
Jeez,
And
yeah.
that's just TV mentality leaking into movies, and I don't fucking like it, Tom.
Dirty. That's dirty now, that is. That is dirty.
That's sly. That's not taking the price of your ticket, Tom. That's taking the price of your ticket and holding your ransom to another fucking night out.
Oh, that's pulling your trousers down. That's what that is. That's pulling
Yeah.
your trousers down going, we fucking have you now. We fucking have you. You
And that's what
fucking
it is.
idiot.
That's what it is with TV shows that get like 30 episodes, 3 seasons in, and then the 4th season is, oh, by the way, here's some new characters and the guys that are going off on a new adventure. And be like, no, you sons of bitches, you fucking wrap that shit up in 30 episodes, or I'm not switching it on. And anybody that's bankrolling a TV show, you agree to pay for 30 episodes, 3 seasons, okay? Anything more than that, to paraphrase my man Denzel Washington, an American gangster, any more than that is greed, son.
Well wrapped up movie, and it's in
There
its own
you
right.
go.
There you go. Very well said. Well, that was giving out yards. And it was
And I'd given out yards insofar as a solution was offered, but there you go, Tom. Have you watched a shit TV show in the past lifetime that you've spent? Let us know in the comments.
Absolutely. Let us know an example of one that absolutely fucking vexed you, either with the ending or the fact that the cheeky whore is stuck in a cliffhanger when there's no need for it.
No call for it, Tom.
No need for it at all. You know, it is somebody giving you fucking... It's like somebody giving you the yoke you just don't want, only that you can't give out about it because they've given you a thing and you're like, you bastard.
I suppose, yeah.
You bastard, you.
I brought this on myself, didn't I?
Yeah.
My viewership. This is how my fucking loyalty is rewarded.
Yeah. Well, very...
So what else have we got on the much anticipated and highly awaited season 5 of Tom and Jerry Show?
We have, of course, we opened up the old file of facts of fucking things we went through down through the years, and you know what? Things have grown. You get to like things that, you know, as you grow older through time. Sometimes
can't all be giving out yards, Tom.
You're allowed to change your opinion when it comes to these things. Who knows? In a couple of years, Jeremy Bride might be an absolute advocate of movies and TV shows that have big old dirty, cheeky crowbar down your neck fucking cliffhangers. Who knows?
Never go anywhere. I could warm to them.
He might end up loving him. Might end up in this segment if we ever resurrect it again after this. But for this season, we have brought it back because there's definitely things when you look at the two of us, probably profiling, which is wrong. You shouldn't profile. I get profiled.
Yeah, but like sometimes, like, you know, you look at the two lads like the two of us, and you're absolutely fucking spot on, Tom.
Oh yeah, like two of the whitest blokes that have ever walked the fucking planet. Like there's some things we just cannot get away from. But at the same time, there'll be things out there that you might be surprised with when it comes to this. And we have resurrected a segment that we call You Wouldn't Think We'd like This.
Oh, we like goblins, bats, and fishes, but we hasn't tried horses before.
You took it last week, and I think you surprised me down through the years, and your stuff does resonate with me when it comes to things that you like that I wouldn't have guessed. You know what I mean? And with me too. Like I said, I get profiled quite a lot. The mullet, the moustache, the real tree camo, the gun license. It probably...
the pallets.
Look, I think a lot of people mistake what I am and enjoy with what they've seen on television, because quite a lot of Irish people at the moment live their lives through the lens of America. So they will just pick up on this and go, well, you're clearly everything I know of people with mullets and moustaches from America. I'm doing this ironically.
Yeah, I mean, like, people will look at you, Tom, and go, that guy, he's probably a little religious.
Exactly. Probably has opinions fucking swinging that way. Truth be told, not that much.
Not a whole pile. Not lately.
Pretty fucking liberal as it happens. Even though I do have staunch views when it comes to things, and it's fucking wrong and decided. No, I'm joking. I don't care. But sometimes We can surprise people. When I sprung things on people, I remember giving a quote. I quoted something about the Eye of Sauron to somebody one time. And two of these guys are gamers, and they nearly pissed down the leg of their trousers. Like, excuse me. I remember I was hosting another thing where I was hosting an online guy, and the guy had a backdrop, he had a green screen, and he had Dr. Strange's office emporium,
yes.
giant windows. And just off the top of my head, I went, wow, really cool backdrop, Dr. Strange. And he went, oh yeah. Because he'd been listening to me for like 10 minutes talk at this stage, and just absolutely, he had made me, he'd profiled me, thought he knew everything about me because he'd watched television based around Americans who look a little like me. I could not believe that I was able to tell him about Doctor Strange. You know about Sophia, but he was almost angry because I had encroached in his world.
Right.
Yet he could never, ever tread in my world. So it was kind of like, you know, but
here we are.
We, like I said, we've resurrected as part of the show just to incite people and to invite people into our world when it comes to the things that you wouldn't think we'd like. With a section of the show that we call You Wouldn't Think I'd Like This. And mine this week, Jerry, you know I'm an animal person. I do like animals. And there's a fine line, you know, there's always things that divide, especially the Irish people. Like, is it lions? Is it fucking Barry's? You know? Is it fucking Cadbury's? Is it Nestle? Is it dogs? Is it cats? Most people fucking hate cats.
Yes.
I fucking love cats.
You love cats.
I think that I fucking love dogs. I have a dog.
I would have, you see, Tom, you know, I would have, you know, if you made me close my eyes and picture Tom O'Mahony and there's an animal by his side, that animal's a dog.
Yeah. Yeah, I know.
With a fucking pheasant in its mouth.
Yeah, yes, I know. And this you're profiling me right now. That's bad. You can't do that. You can't do that, Jerry. You can't just look at me and go, I know everything about that guy. You can't do that anymore. It's not right. It's not right.
I promise I won't do it again, Tom.
I do.
But I do. Well, you like cats. I like cats just fine, Tom. I very much like cats. I'd like to get a cat for the kid. You know,
they're great. They're great, and I've grown.
But Tom, what are they great at? You know, a cat is not. I've long been of the opinion that a cat is not a pet.
They are not only an apex predator, they can also flip the switch. They can flip the switch from being apex to fucking keeping your house rodent free, scaring the fuck out of all sorts of rodents. All you got to do is murder a few, stick their heads on spikes, wear a neck of little mouse fucking ears around. No, okay, that's Platoon. But but they also transition perfectly into pets if you've done it right. The cat, I had lost all knowledge. You know when you're watching these movies where they go back home, like Sweet Home Alabama. She forgot how much she loved. I know it's a rom-com and whatnot, but I'm talking about all these movies.
I've never seen it, but okay.
John Rambo goes home. It's where he's happiest. You know what I mean? It's these moments where I just realized we're back home, and the cat at home fucking loves the young fella. Fucking young fella loves the cat.
Really?
He loves his dog. He loves his dog. They go everywhere together. Since he was able to walk, they were both fighting over teddies with one leg in his mouth, one leg in the dog's mouth. He's been raised half dog. He meets the cat. The cat was like fucking class. Literally stood up and high-fived him. I'm like, I forgot how fucking classy you are. And yet the cat walks over to him not 2 days ago with a fucking bird she caught and dropped it at his little feet. Needless to say, he thought it was the bee's knees, went to pick up the dead bird, kind of had to intervene there because I figured he would have tried to eat it, which I'm not against, but apparently that's not a cool thing before he gets his proper shots. I don't know. I think it would toughen him up. It's not in any of the books. I think it would toughen him up.
But look what the cat just did. It's a wild animal. It's bringing home fucking carrion. You know, it's feeding your child a dead bird. Like, oh hey, yeah, fucking I got you this on the way home. Like how I might fucking pick up McDonald's on the way home from a gig.
In the height of a fucking epidemic, we've all looked what the possibility, the minor sliver of the door of apocalypse has opened, right? Just a sliver, just a crack of the light has come through. We haven't had zombies. We've had no food shortage, not in this country anyway. We've had nothing really in the way of but the crack of light has made us all think about a fucking bunker, how we would survive if everybody was going around eating each other. What are the essential fucking pets to keep. And I'm telling you, unless you got a good fucking gun dog or a good hunter, which is hard to fucking get your hands on, and they need training too. It's rare. It's fucking rare that you would own an animal that's going to walk over to your child with breakfast caught in the wild. Tell me, find me fucking anybody that would do it for you, let alone a fucking animal that asks for nothing but a bit of an old rub and a warm fire when it's cold outside.
I mean...
I fought myself on this. I thought I was a dog guy for years. I thought I was just a dog guy. Cats were cool. I liked how they looked. I liked that they could move like a fucking... Physically, they are a physical weapon on four paws. And they're funny as shit on the internet when they push shit off shelves. Like, the internet was invented around cats. They are the fucking Warren Buffett. Like, it is fucking built around them. The internet is. And everything else is just spiraled out into craziness. But I never kind of loved the cats. Never loved until I saw that the other day. I'm like, hold the fucking phone. Let's break this down. I broke it all the way down. Fucking cat brought its new master a fucking dinner, breakfast, burrito, fucking wrapped up, knuckle-sized. He could have just bitten the head off that little fucking, I don't know what it was, goldfinch or something. He could have just eaten it. And he would have had sustenance. Granted, would have been spitting feathers for the day, but at the same time, find me an animal that will do that for you. There'll be no fucking kickapoo or fucking schnazzlepuff or whatever the fuck people are crossbreeding dogs with nowadays. There's not one of them shits going to do it for you.
Yeah, Tom, see, I'm going to pull this apart a little bit now.
Yeah.
Do you like cats or do you like that cat?
A fucking tomato.
Because I gotta tell you, I'll give you a story of a cat that I fucking single-handedly rescued.
Oh, I rescued this particular cat too, by the way.
This cat owes me my life, okay? And like, you know, we owe cats a fucking debt around our house because, you know, like back in the day, you know, not every cat was kept, shall we say?
Yeah.
You know, this rural upbringing. You know, never sat right when we were here. We are, okay?
Yeah.
So I feel like, you know, I feel like I redeemed myself a little bit when I rescued a cat. I was driving a moving car, Tom, right? And I heard from 200 yards away a kitten behind a bin, driving a moving car in a fucking crosswind. Only 9, maybe 10 men in the world could make that shot, Tom.
Fucking Lee Harvey, fucking Oswald over here, look.
But I fucking heard a kitten meowing from behind a fucking skip from a moving car, and I went over, and true enough, there's a little kitten, and we got him and we brought him back home to my mum and dad's house, and that's where he lived. And my wee girl said, like, her first sentence when she seen him, she said, "My little kitty." And we were like, we'd love to take him up to Dublin, but like, I think he belongs here because mum and dad have more of a space for him, blah, 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 blah. And like, you know, my mum, I could tell that she wasn't letting that cat out of the house. Tiny little kitten, lovely animal, spent the whole day playing with him. Absolutely great. Tom, that cat stayed in the house for 5-6 years. Never once would it let you approach him. Never once would it let you pet it. Never once did it fucking come over to my wee girl who had bonded with it, with my little kitty. Never approached her, was just always this sort of vengeful, watchful spirit from the roof of the garage. And I'm like, cat, I appreciate you're a wild animal, but like a little bit of fucking appreciation every now and then. Jump down, let my wee girl pet you. You know, be a cat, be a pet. You know, and that's why I'm thinking cats are not pets, Tom, because cats, you know, they're wild animals. And
I don't know.
A cat as a wild animal, love it. Absolutely great, wonderful. Cat as a pet, I'm like, are you going to eat me in my sleep?
You see, this is my argument, right? Okay, yeah, I like that I could. Maybe once upon a time, a couple of years back, I was like, oh yeah, cats, you know, they don't love you. I don't need that love from an animal, Jerry. I don't need it. I've gotten to almost 40, and I realize, oh wait, I don't need it. I'm just happy that you're around doing a fucking job. I'm just happy that you're earning your fucking keep. I'm happy to let you hang around this property, doing a bit of fucking work and not being a fucking hindrance on me. That's all I need from you. I don't fucking need you to know. Even though They've got two cats. The other one, I don't know, Katie or something. The other, she don't put in around with you. She kind of gives you a look in the morning and she gives you a little bit of a fucking meow. I'm like, sat in the cat. She's like, fucking not much, Tom. Keep her lit. She's like that sound bloke that never gets into it too much with anybody at work, but never gets in your way, never gives you any grief, just says shit like, fucking keep her lit, son. Cool cat. I like that. I like the fucking animal that knows what it is. Cats know they're cats. Fucking dogs. We've driven them fucking demented, crossbreeding them with us.
We have domesticated dogs to a point that I
them.
don't think we've domesticated cats.
And I think we've gone too far with dogs. We've turned dogs into these fucking jelly-brained fucking idiots versions of ourselves. Like, a cat isn't that far gone from the fucking safari. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but like, I don't believe...
A fucking French bulldog is a long way from a timber wolf. Do you know what I mean? A long fucking way. Do you know wolves, when they howl at night, when they do the roll call? If you've shot a wolf earlier that day, and the wolves all do their roll call at nighttime when they all howl back and forth, and if they know that fucking Jerry the wolf got fucking blown to bits that day, or he is because he doesn't call back, immediately the females will go into heat for reproduction to fill that fucking void immediately.
Really?
Yeah.
This is.
Do you know there's a type of wolf that lives in North America that plays, you talk about playing the long game all the time, right? This is a wolf at the top of the fucking chain when it comes to predator. In its shit, it lays these spores in its dump, and it tends to dump where deer tend to congregate. It decays. The lichen that grows off of that will be prone to growing off of that, will contain a spore that when eaten by deer who love said lichen, that their next generation will have undersized lungs and hearts so that they can be run down faster. So that wolf is thinking about its kid running down that fucking deer's kid. That's a badass fuck. And now tell me that a fucking pug is, we haven't gone too far and ruined dogs when you look at a fucking pug's cross-eyed fucking head.
No, Tom, and like, you know, you're making me like wolves a lot more than you're making me like cats, I'll tell you that much. But that's okay, because I would have assumed that Tom just fucking loves wolves to begin with, and I would have been fucking right.
Yeah, true.
But what's to say that the cat that's dropping off the board at your kid's feet, and you're like, oh, look at that, he's going to feed the kid. What makes you think that the cat as a wild animal is just going like, hey kid, I fucking killed that, so watch your back?
I also appreciate that too, Jerry. I totally appreciate that.
Okay, well, like, it's not a fucking...
Oh, no.
Like, this is what I'm saying. A cat is not acting in your interest. Give me a shout if a fucking cat throws itself on a hand grenade to save you, Tom.
I get you. And people talk about, oh, well, what if I died and my cat ate me? You're fucking dead. Hey, have you ever walked
How fucking selfish are you?
Have you ever walked into a yard and there's a fucking Doberman? You didn't think, oh, if I die, he might eat me. No, you'll go, he'll eat me till I die. Do you know what I mean? There are far more chances that a dog is going to murder you than your average cat.
Don't get me wrong. Yeah, I mean, like, I don't think a cat's going to murder you at all. And again, anybody listening to this says, fuck me, McBride doesn't like cats. Not the case. Love cats. But I don't consider them like a domesticated pet, because I've never went to pet a cat that did not scrab the fuck out of me, Tom.
You got all bad-minded old fucking cats up there. So honestly, cats.
No, I mean cats nationwide.
Okay, right. Okay, well, it must be something you've been doing.
These are not it's not Monaghan cats that are assholes, Tom.
Those cats are thinking, that cunt doesn't like TV anymore. He fucking...
Even fucking cats, when they're playing with you, scrab you.
Yeah, you know, I mean, fucking toughen up, Jerry. That's all I'm saying. You know, I like that cats. I like it. Maybe once upon a time I was a bit softer on the edges. I don't know. Or maybe I'm just more appreciative of I like a thing like your vice grips, Jerry. Swinging back to our sponsor here, which is Irwin Vice Grips. The grip that vices. All other things can only be known as a locking pliers. Just like a vice grips, it knows what it is. It doesn't have to be pretty. Doesn't have to have any rubber handles on it. Doesn't have to fucking cuddle up to you at the fucking fire. But by Jesus, you love that fucking vice grips. And you'll have that forevermore. You'll mind it. And you'll keep it fed with WD-40 down along its thread. Just keep it nice and tight, making sure that it doesn't go to shit on you. You'll have that. You'll pass that on. What your dying fucking wish would be that will go to your children, that fucking vice grip. And has it ever loved you? Will it ever love you? No, it fucking won't. It just does what it's supposed to do. Like a fucking Land Rover Defender or a gun. It doesn't fucking love you back. But what it does is when you come to it and you need it, just like the fucking A-Team and a cat, it'll fucking get the job done. Dogs, bit fucking flaky in my book. They've gone flaky.
Really?
Once upon a time, you could count on any dog, i.e. a fucking wolf. A wolf. My cousins have a Rhodesian Ridgeback. Those fucking dogs were crossbred to fight lions, to keep lions off the fucking prairie in fucking, well, what is now Zimbabwe. These fucking things have an extra knuckle. They have an extra knuckle so they can climb rocks better, right? They've actually fucking proper fingers. This thing, because it would grow up here in Ireland, compete and other fucking flouncy, floppy dog.
Yeah, but Tom, look at your fucking sentence there. What was that Rhodesian Ridgeback bred to fight again?
Lions.
And what is a lion?
Oh no, a lion would absolutely jack it. All it can do is bark its fucking head off. Like the amount of them that were actually murdered by lions is fucking phenomenal. Like, but what I'm saying is they give a decent account of themselves. Like,
so they're not trained to fucking fight lions. They're trained to hold lions off for 5 minutes while you get in the car.
Yeah.
But what I'm getting at is like a lion is a cat. A lion is a fucking cat. And you're inviting one of these things into your house.
I get it, but I like it because they've just got they're kind of like a little gun with 4 legs. You know what I mean? A little hairy, fluffy gun that sometimes let you pet him. That's all I'm saying.
Okay, and like, cat owners, again, I fucking love cats. There's just a couple of things that I don't believe or get. I don't believe a cat will register its name.
Yeah. And I also kind of like
I honestly don't. Like, I know if you say Rover to a dog called Rover, he'd be like, oh, what, me? If you say fucking Mary to a cat called Mary, the cat would be like, you talking to me?
Yeah.
This is Mary.
But you not appreciate that, where a cat is fucking, is their own person. More and more, I'm liking the single-mindedness out of a cat. Like, they're just like, look, man, this is a mutual thing. I ain't coming over there. What are we doing? Can we not just coexist? Like, can we not just coexist where we're not, we're flat, like you're flatmates with a cat. I like that.
Yeah, exactly. But like, flatmates are also assholes and fucking eat all your cheese and
it's true, but they don't have any thumbs.
Leave the toilet in the fucking state.
They do, but they don't have any thumbs. This is a flatmate with no thumbs, so can't even lift it. Look,
you know what?
I'm a dog person.
I like cats. I like the cat. I would like the cat from the Caesar ad, not the actual look of the cat, but a cat that comes over and appreciates and looks thankful when you feed him and curls up and purrs and plays with a little ball, and you can play with the fucking string and the laser light on the thing, and you have great crack with cats. But just like, my recent experience with cats being that kitten that we saved was a dickhead and wouldn't fucking come near us and wouldn't play with the kids. Asshole cat, I fucking saved your life.
Sometimes you strike out. I'm just saying, sometimes you fucking strike out, Jerry, and you just got to live with that. Not everybody is going to fucking, suck up to you. You just got to live with it. And I like that. I like the unpredictability of a cat. I like that. In that, they keep you on their fucking toes. They won't always just fucking be there for every single moment you need. All I'm saying.
Sounds to me like you fucking function best in a chaotic environment, Tom.
I love chaos. I absolutely fucking whirlwind the chaos right around me. I love it. Bring it fucking on. Everything sitting neat and fucking. I like a tidy thing, and I like things to be the way they are. But bring the fire. Do you know what I mean? And I know a cat would fucking love it too. Cat will bring me fucking breakfast when the fire comes. Dog is going to shit the fucking bed unless it's a serious hunter that I've already had to fucking spend a fortune training. Cat, nah. Cat will fucking jack a fucking blue tit or something for my breakfast. And all I'm saying is I'm down with that. And now I look, like I said, I wasn't for the longest time. And in recent times, I've just realized how fucking badass and cool they are. And I'm a cat guy now. There you go.
Tom O'Mahony, a cat guy.
I'm a cat guy.
Jerry McBride, ambivalent at best.
Guilty as charged. And that's been the thing that you didn't think I'd like.
Well, I'll tell you one thing for cats, Tom. Do you know what they won't do? They might bring you a fucking blue tit, but they won't bring you a fucking blue moon, so they won't.
Who brought a blue? What?
They won't bring you a nice tall pint of blue moon with a slice of orange in it.
Now I thinking those little mice and Babe going blue moon, and now I was going
Tom's
blue
there
moon.
going,
That was
McBride has fucking. McBride's segues have been tough to link into.
I'll let you know. I'll let you in on
but he's
secret.
Fucking gone.
I'm gonna let you in on a little secret here, people. It's pretty fucking late at night that we're recording this. So if the last segment here this evening goes a little fucking sideways, which I really hope it does.
Well, you know what it is, Tom, with the last segment and the blue moons and the talks of beers and such like, and the cat won't bring you a beer, which is where I was going with that.
I got that.
If the night goes sideways, it wouldn't be the first night that goes sideways, because you and I, Tom, do enjoy a pint. We've had pints together, don't you know? But I'd like to think I've never been properly fucking drunk in your company. Had drink on board, don't get me wrong, but I think I've never been...
I don't think we've ever been wrecked. I mean, we had a bit of a sing-song one night, all right, like, but it was just... I think would have happened if we were kind of sober anyway. But we've gotten pretty drunk, but I don't think we've gotten fucked up.
But there have been times, Tom, that we have gotten fucked up. And this is a brand new segment for Season 5 of the Tom and Jerry Show, where we entertain stories of times when we perhaps imbibed a little bit too much of the old Ishkabaha, if you know what I mean, Tom.
The Ishkabaha.
The old Ishkabaha, don't you know?
I haven't heard it called Ishkabaha. That's brilliant.
There you go. And we call this segment, don't you know, because given that it talks about the drunkest that we've ever been, we call this segment the drunkest we've ever been.
I'm afraid that I was very, very drunk.
I led the charge last week, so I think it's time I sit back with my can of Heineken and just let her rip, Tater Chip.
Just let it rip. Well, here's what it is, pal. You know what? Your story last week was a story of 12 hardened men, long-time drinkers, going on a fucking odyssey of drink.
It really was. I mean, if what's his name, they could have had... They'd be all wearing, if that story was properly told and put out there to the world in maybe a book form, I think they'd be lads with straw hats in Dublin on a certain day of the year, or in Amsterdam, trying to retrace the steps, just like.
Well, that's you know what, and like I've gotten there. I've gotten there, dude. I've gotten to a point in time, and we'll probably talk about some of these stories as we roll on, where you have been drinking for a long time. And this is like an incredible blowout that stands head and shoulders over just a normal Saturday night. But I'm not going to go there straight away there, Tom. I'm going to go back to the start. I'm going to talk about one of the times when I was the drunkest I've ever been, which is, don't you know, also one of the first times.
Yes. Yeah.
I've ever been drunk. Because who fucking knows? How much anesthetic would it take to knock you out, Tom? You don't know. You just fucking stick it in your arm and hope
keep
for the
it going.
best. Who knows, okay? Do you really honestly know how many hot dogs you could eat, Tom? Have you ever fucking tried? Have you ever pushed yourself to the limit?
That's something.
Or do you just have a best guess?
I know how many chicken wings I can eat from empty to absolutely full. And that's 119. But that's while we're throwing out figures, I'm just saying.
While we're throwing out figures, I can tell you my prawn limit is around about 110 as well.
Oh, yeah, the Prawn King ring. Prawn Ring King.
Before we fucking devolve into the fucking snacks and things, let's take you way back, Tom. Let's take you back to one of the earliest times when McBride got shit-faced drunk.
We should have a tune there. We should really lay a bit of a tune there where we actually just some bluegrass music kicks in or something like that.
No, I'd
Steve Earle, like Copperhead Road, just kicks in because we know something heavy is coming.
I'm thinking more like the fucking theme song to Family Ties or some shit. We're going way back. I'm gonna take it to a time when I was about, I'm gonna say 16.
Okay.
Maybe 17. Fourth year in school, okay? And it was around about
age for an Irish teenager, yeah.
This is when you get started drinking, okay? When you haven't a fucking clue how to drink and you don't know, nothing about it. You don't know what's going to knock you out, what's not going to knock you out. And the bravado of the people that you're drinking with kind of throws you as to what is normal. And I'll never forget being a young lad at a non-alco disco. Do you remember the non-alco discos, Tom? They were the ones where everybody was fucking pissed.
I certainly do. We used to go to a place just outside of, over the county border into Limerick called Doon. And it was the spot. It was a big old fucking parochial GA hall in this little RC village. And people used to travel for fucking ever. And I don't know what was the draw. It would just look like every other one, but they used to get the odd 2FM DJ. And,
Getcha.
you know.
I have a place very like that. Before I tell you about the place, I want to tell you about one of the lads I'll never forget. This is one of my first nights out, and he came in and he was drunk. Nobody else was. And he wasn't even that drunk. He was like well sober. And we're like, oh, were you drinking? Oh, were you drinking? Were you drinking? Who was drinking? Were you drinking? And he goes, yeah, but not much. It was me and Mickey were drinking. We only had 10 cans each, not a whole pile.
Jesus Christ.
And like that stuck with me for like 10 or 15 years after the fact.
It's a round number.
Because I'm like, 6 cans will kind of knock me on my arse even to this day. And you're telling me you drank 10 cans as a 15-year-old child and walked into a non-alcohol disco and you seem grand? Like, it just could never weigh up. I was like, fuck me, he must be like the platinum drinker of all time. But like, in actual fact, he was always certainly just talking shit.
Oh, yeah.
So I didn't know what was drunk or what was not drunk. And here's the other thing, Tom. I had no fucking access to drunk. I'm a fucking 16-year-old kid. Where am I fucking walking into a pub and getting served? It's not going to happen, all right?
Yeah.
So you're doing what you can at home. You're swiping drink.
Of course. Now.
You can't swipe enough drink that it'll be noticed gone. But we had, as the Americans would call it, a liquor cabinet. And it was like a...
Yeah, a liquor cabinet.
And what it was like there was like a built-in unit in the sitting room, in the good room, and the built-in unit, the drawer on the bottom left hand corner had all the drink in it. And like, if you pooched in way in the back, there was like fucking drink you'd never seen before or since. Like fucking
and who was this drink for, Jerry, in your house?
Sandyman's port and shit like this. It was for whoever came about the house, and some of it had never been touched, and there was bottles that you knew were never going to be touched. Whereas there might be like a bottle of Paddy or
Powers
or whatever it would be that my dad would fucking work his way through over the course of a year. Like no one in the house was big drinkers, but if someone came around, they might get a drink, and generally it was that. You knew there was something in the back, like a vodka or a gin or some such that had been there for fucking for time immemorial, right?
Right.
So that's where I was getting the drink, and where I was going to drink it, Tom, was a place called the Oasis nightclub, Carrickmacross.
Meanwhile at the Oasis.
A song they never played at the Oasis, which I always thought was a fucking missed opportunity. But it's the fucking Oasis nightclub, Carrickmacross. It's the place where Meatloaf played and said he'd never go back to. What the fuck are they going to be playing? Midnight at the fucking Oasis. Did they want the place burnt down?
Meatloaf played in the Oasis in Carrickmacross.
Yes, and was fucking lucky to get out of it. Here's the thing with the Oasis nightclub, Carrickmacross, Tom. Here's the thing, just like your parochial JA hall, the Oasis nightclub was at one stage the largest nightclub in Ireland, and at another stage one of the largest nightclubs in Europe.
What?
Yeah, and
are we talking show bands like Big Tom and all the rest of them played there back in the day?
There was the original Oasis nightclub, which held about 1,000 and often held a hell of a fucking lot more. And then that done me for non-alcos up until I was about 17 or 18 or so. And then they closed it for a year and they reopened it as the Oasis Super Club. And that was a 2-floor Ibiza Ministry of Sound style nightclub that held, on any given Saturday night, 5,000 people.
Jesus, Mary and Joseph in Carrickmacross.
And here's the thing, Tom. We just thought that was what nightclubs were.
Yeah.
Because we knew no better. We thought, like, you go, oh yeah, every nightclub in the country you have to queue for an hour and a half to get into.
Wow. Holy
nightclub,
shit.
Every nightclub you go to has 2 floors, the longest bar in Ireland, has buses from Belfast coming down. Like there were people up that way.
What roughly around what year was this, Jerry?
This was pre 9/11. Sorry for fucking measuring everything like that. The Oasis, as I went to it, was 1996. No, not even. No, 1996 was when I was 16 going to non-alcos, and then it closed and reopened as like the fucking big massive nightclub, and I was old enough to drink in at that stage. It was like 98, 99.
The start of the Tiger was roaring at that stage, because there was a few opened up. There was one opened up in Dundrum, a village in the middle of nowhere, and like that they had these giant granite wizards sitting on chairs beside the DJ box. They
Yes.
had a glass floor on one of the levels. Banana stuff. But this sounds fucking phenomenal. 5,000 people.
And like, you know what it is? 5,000 people in the Oasis nightclub carting across, Tom. That's just 5,000 people going all the more crazy to fucking Cotton Eye Joe. Like everything. It's not like 5,000 people and we're also like real suave and fucking sipping martinis and shit like this. It was just like 5,000 boggers. And I've talked to people to this day that when they say, I'm from Carrick Macross, they go, have you ever been to the Oasis nightclub? And I'd be like, yeah, I went to it every fucking week for 4 years straight until the novelty wore off it and I just didn't want to go back to it.
Yeah.
And they're like, are you fucking kidding me? Me and my friends saved up for 3 years to go to it once from Mullingar.
Jesus Christ.
And like, me and my pals got a bus down. We hired a minibus from Donegal for a 21st to go down to the night Oasis. Like, it was like this mythical fucking pilgrimage.
You build it and they will come, as they say.
And we were just like, well, that's our nightclubs. We don't really like it all that much and we're sick going to it. And the Kings Court lads are going to kick the shit out of me if they see me in it one more time, So that's the Oasis. So I'm going to take you to 1996, 97 when I'm a young fella. I'm heading to the Oasis nightclub in its old style. And it's a low-roofed nightclub that, just a square black box, very big, sticky floors, and a hell of a lot of fucking teenagers, okay?
Yeah.
And the notion would be that when we hit this place, we're going to be drunk. Who's bringing drink? Everybody bring a bit of something. And this is where I got as drunk as I have ever been in my life, Tom, because you didn't fucking know what you were drinking. Someone was bringing 2 cans of Smithwick's and another lad could manage to get like 3 bottles of Budweiser.
Right.
Another lad could get like a can of Harp here and there. Or some other lad's going to come and he's going to have 6 cans of Harp and you might get the half or you share it around the place. Or someone's coming and they have a nag and a vodka and like, if you bring a can of 7-Up, like it'll give you a sup out of it. Like it's real fucking childish down a lane drinking, right?
Yeah. Scavenger stuff. Like.
It's real scavenger stuff. But as you know, the one rule of drinking, Tom, is don't mix your fucking drinks.
Yeah, that's definitely one.
That's high on the list of priorities, okay? Now, I had indulged in something that I didn't know was a thing. Anytime I was going to the dances, as we could come around, the bus would come around and pick us all up, okay?
Yeah.
So that was just like, such so-and-so's bus ringing, will you swing around my house and get me? Yeah, I'll be around here around about 8:30, by and large, okay? I was doing a thing, Tom, called pre-drinking.
Drinking, yes.
Drinking, which is just the way you do it. But I felt I was like, really smart at the time. I felt I'd invented this. I'm drinking before I get on the bus. So I'm kind of drunk when I got there. And then when you get there and it's a scrum for who has fucking what, you don't have to involve yourself in that because, you've had what is, for all intents and purposes, your night's drink before you've left the house, right? So what I would do is I'd go to the liquor cabinet and I was smart, I thought, not to take too much drink out of any given bottle.
Because that, in the American gangsters, just greed.
That's just greed, baby. So what I did instead was take a couple of mouthfuls out of each one.
Lovely. It's lovely. So you're just slabbering your fucking teenage lips all over the tops of these bottles that maybe someday drank by a fucking local priest that comes to the house.
And I'm there like, sort of listening at the door and be like, okay, Hennessy, go. Okay, that's okay. Now let's have another look. Vodka, hug. And let's have a look out here. Okay, gin, hug. And just like animal drinking. And then you'd go, and because the drink was in you, you were smart leaving the house. I'll have a couple of drinks and I'll never have to drink again because that's how drink works. Not knowing as a young fella, Tom, that no, that's not how it works. We get a couple of drinks into you, all you want is more drinks. So you'd land at the fucking designated lane outside the Oasis nightclub, Carrick Macross, where we drank was across the road from the Carrick Macross. There was a pipe factory that made, like, the flue liners that go into your chimney, the big orange ones?
Yeah.
And behind a pipe factory, what do you need something to make flue liners with. So what's behind that, Tom?
Cement factory.
A fucking quarry, Tom.
Yeah.
A quarry that went down like 9 stories that was separated from the road we were drinking on by a bit of a hedge.
I like that. Not even a proper hedge, just.
And the lads were like, do you know that's a big quarry there? And like, we'd be like, a quarry? No. And you'd be up on top of the hedge looking over down into this fucking sheer cliff that falls like 11 stories down, and like you'd be messing drunk and like, oh, mind you don't fall in. Like,
yeah,
how I wasn't fucking killed, I'll never know. Here's where I made my big mistake. Tom, you're listening to that going like, I've outlined several mistakes you've made here.
Oh,
McBride.
absolutely.
What's
Yeah.
the fucking big one? My big mistake was I decided that I would take drink from the house to the nightclub. But like what you do that in without, you couldn't take it into the nightclub because you were get searched at the door, okay? So you couldn't have a fucking score bottle in your pocket, okay?
Yeah.
Dick's not that big. You couldn't, you know, you'd get caught and it'd be taken off you. And for all we'd know, your parents called them trouble afoot, okay? What you needed really was a hip flask, which I did not have, Tom, okay? I didn't have a hip flask. I'm 16 in Monaghan, okay?
Yeah, fuck's sake. Next thing you're going to be wearing a monocle and tapping your cigarettes on your fucking silver case as well.
So I'm like, what is a bottle here that I can use to get drink from here to there, okay? So I went down to the bathroom and we had a cabinet in the bathroom with all sorts of fucking creams and potions and such like. And my mum had a bottle of oil of Yule. This is right? This is before it's, right?
Before it was Ole.
This is before it was oil of Ole. We're going old school. Half-litre bottle of oil of Yule. So it's about the size of a naggin, okay? And if you know a bottle of oil of Yule, it's thin, it's flat, okay?
Yeah.
It looks like a phone. It's thin and flat. And I put the bottle in my pocket and I patted myself and I was like, that's flat. You could pat it and you wouldn't know it. So, I bided my time.
You would have done well in prison, McBride.
Right? I'm a fixer. I bided my time until like my mum eventually used it all up and like, you know, I rescued it. She was like, that's all done. And I watched it go into the bin. And I went out to the bin and I got it and I pried the top off it. And I washed it out a whole bunch of times. And
you sharpened it into a knife and you shanked fucking somebody. Oh, sorry.
And I fucking stabbed a whole bunch of lads. And that was what I was going to use for my hip flask to take 1/2 litre of alcohol to the Oasis nightclub. I did. And I drank every fucking drop of it apart from what I shared with a couple of lads that I was with. Okay?
Yeah.
You're not seeing the drunkest you've ever been here before, right, Tom? Because it's what you're sharing a naggin with 3 lads. I mean, like even the weakest of teenagers could probably take that, right?
Of course.
What I filled it with was a bottle from the back that I hadn't touched yet, a bottle of Cork dry gin. Okay,
lovely. Jesus, Mary and Joseph.
And I took a couple of swigs of it before I left the house, and I'm like, well, I guess that's just what gin tastes like.
Hell, yes.
You know,
fucking
I guess
hell.
Like, what can we do? And I poured it into my fucking oil of Yule bottle, and I put it in, and I patted the side of my thing, and like, I'm fucking the perfect crime here, okay? Rock and roll. And we went and we had like the various cans and shit there beside the pipe factory, and we're all fucking scuttered getting into the place. How they let us into the place, I don't know, but at that stage, didn't really care. Yeah, you got £3, in you go.
Good on you. £3.
When we got in there, the bar would only sell soft drinks because it was a non-alco, don't you know? It would sell you Coke, 7-Up, or Club Orange. Were your options, okay? So we'd get the plan was to go in and get cans of 7-Up a piece, drink a wee bit out of it, and then McBride had the fucking
hip flask,
nagging a liquid in an oil of Yule bottle in his pocket. All right, and it was gin, and I told everyone it was gin, and we drank it. And Tom, it was not gin.
Fuck. You just with the little cheeky hip flask on you. I just imagine you at prom going up to the punch bowl, like trying to distract the teacher,
spiking it, yeah,
spiking it.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
It was not gin. Tom, it was poaching.
Of course it was poaching. Yeah. Because you're from fucking Monaghan. And that's
of course.
Yeah.
Poaching.
I mean,
and
if Copperhead Road was anywhere in Ireland, it would be at somewhere in fucking Carrickmacross.
And here's the thing, Tom. I didn't know it was poaching because I didn't fucking know what poaching was. All right? I drank it, and for all intents and purposes, I was like, I guess that's just gin. All right? For anybody that's never drank poaching, don't drink poaching. Just don't do it, okay?
As your throat disintegrates, you're going, I guess that's what Cork people call fucking gin.
Yeah. You're there like your fucking throat dissolving like a spy chomping on his back molar. He's been caught in fucking North Korea. You're like, well, that's how they like it in Cork, I guess.
Yeah.
Poaching, you never have it in the house to drink. We've always had a bottle of poaching in the house. Never would you drink it. No. You would have it for sore muscles. You would have it for aches and pains, things like this. If you had a calf in the house that was sick, you mix a bit of poaching in with the mash, and the calf gets fucking drunk and quits giving out, Tom. I don't know what the fucking science was there. But poaching's not a drinking drink, all right? You take it out maybe every now and then if there's Americans in the house and they're like, my God, I had authentic poaching that was made in a fucking barrel up the road or whatever the hell it was. But what you certainly fucking don't do is drink it. And what you certainly don't do is take panic mouthfuls of it in the house before the bus comes to take you to the non-alco. And then you don't drink a pile more drink outside of fucking Quarry. And then you certainly do not go into the Oasis goddamn nightclub in Carrickmacross and drink a fucking quarter of a litre of it mixed in a tin of 7-Up.
So how many mouthfuls did you have before you left the house?
I had like 2 big mouthfuls, but like I was a pure gulp, and it wasn't like. Here's the thing, Tom, and I
Were you drinking it like a thirsty guy?
Yeah, drinking it like a thirsty guy. Like I told you before when I was telling you about the movie prep, like I can drink pretty much anything.
Yeah.
If it has to be drunk, I'll drink it. So anything like, whiskey, vodka, like it burns as you drink it and such. Like, but I could drink a mug of whiskey, no problem.
I bet if
that's just the
in my condition, I say that like I'm pregnant, but in my lack of drinking ability these days, if I drank a mug of poaching, it'd be like drinking fucking movie prep. It would just go straight through me.
It would just go straight from me. And like, if I was to drink, I'd say like I could drink a mug of whiskey. Like I get drunk instantly and sick promptly after. But like the actual drinking of it wouldn't trouble me.
Yeah, get you.
You know? So when I say I took a couple of slugs of poaching before I went out, it was like, fill your mouth, drink. Fill your mouth, drink. Fill your mouth, drink.
Okay.
So I'm well full of it. I've like a nagging of poaching in me easily.
This shit is not for fucking human consumption.
Not for human consumption. And there's a couple of pals of me and they've imbibed as well. Now, Tom, they fall by the wayside fairly promptly. Like they basically just switch off. And their mums come and get them. All right, this is a non-alco. I stress, we are children.
Worst case scenario, the mother shows up in the slippers.
The bouncer takes them out.
Oh
the
my
bouncer
God.
takes them to the bouncer takes them out of the nightclub and round to it's a hotel as well, round to the lobby of the hotel and sits them on the fucking wherever it is, and phone calls are made.
Oh, Jesus,
to come and get your child because he's feeling ill. All right, and I'm in the nightclub, bopping away. Dancing along to fucking jump around.
Wait, now, so the boys have burnt out.
Boys are gone.
They've only hit the poaching that you gave them.
Yes.
Fucking lightweights. You must have felt like fucking Rocky at that point, did you?
I felt like Rocky for like maybe about 6 or 7 minutes, because here's the thing, Tom. I didn't know that was poaching I drank until like fucking 10 years later. After years of drinking gin, and I was like, it doesn't ever. Did it change Cork dry gin? It doesn't taste like it used to taste. And my dad's like, what are you talking about? He goes, it used to be a different taste of it, like the bottle that you had in there. He goes, like, son, that's fucking poaching. And I was like, oh shit, that's what fucking wiped us out in the Oasis nightclub that night. No fucking wonder. We're drinking moisturizer tinted poaching.
Yeah, definitely didn't help, because I can guarantee as a teenager you did not have the sophistication nor the patience or the ability to clean out that
thought
fucking
I
bottle.
did, but like,
no, you didn't.
It was brought back to me when I watched. I don't know if you watch Always Sunny in Philadelphia, but there was an episode where they go to the Jersey Shore, and there's a strict no open bottle policy on the beach, so they get around that by drinking from fucking washed out suntan lotion bottles. And I'm like, I was fucking decades ahead of you people.
Jesus Christ, yes, you were. So 6-7 minutes after the boys have been escorted out of the building,
I fucking buckle.
You're out dancing.
I'm out dancing to jump around.
Of course.
And that was a big song, because like, you had like your slow sets, and fucking Celine Dion would sing The Power of Love and all this kind of shit. And then like, the DJ, it seemed to just be like, okay, let them all out there, let them have their shifts, and then just hit them with Jump Around and then fucking mob in. He thought it was really funny to see all these tender young people getting their first kisses all of a sudden fucking mobbed by a big fucking load of lads. And I was out there for Jump Around, which is standard issue jump around dancing. You jump around. And I was jumping around, and one time I went up, and when I came down, the knees just weren't there for me, Tom.
Oh no.
I just fucking collapsed into my own footprint like the fucking Twin Towers. I just was like, I was just controlled demolition.
Turns out poaching will burn fucking steel. Fucking hell.
Will burn steel. And I was like, fuck. And there was a pal of mine that was like, were you drinking? I goes, I was drinking. He goes, okay, well, listen, like, just hold your ground. And we'll take you over here. We'll sit you on this very sticky sofa. You just fucking sit there. And I'm like going like space and time, just like the sweat is just pissing out of me. And I'm like, fuck me, what's going on here? And everybody's coming over like, are you all right? And like,
it's
all
liquid
your mind
ecstasy,
is like,
essentially.
you're just like, I'm just like, don't fucking get the bouncer. I'm fine. Please walk away. Please leave me alone. Just don't get the bouncer. And they're like, what? And I realized that I'm just like, and like I'm counting down the minutes because I know if fucking they're playing jump around, then they're gonna play Out Here Brothers, and then they're gonna play fucking something else, and then it's national anthem, and then we're fucking gone. We're on the home stretch here, and I can get in the bus and go home, and I am fucking make it to the national anthem. Have to stand for the national anthem because I had a pal and he would get very fucking cross and fucking rash if he didn't stand for the national anthem. Buckled as I was. And they got me on to the
Imagine McBride like born into the 4th of July fucking effort. He's all of a sudden in a wheelchair with an army jacket on going, fuck you guys, and people getting cranked.
You. And they got me. I got home and I had to go to work the next day. It was a Friday night, and I had a Saturday job. And that not only was that the drunkest I've ever been, because I don't fucking know how I got home, Tom. I don't have a fucking idea how I got home. I mean, the guy that fucking drove me home just basically pulled out of the door, and like I just got out and made it up because I'm fucking no idea what's happening to me. Think I'm dying. This is like your first teenage disco, proper fucking annihilated drunk. And I woke up the next morning and had to go to work, still drunk. Like you're drunk on this shit for quite some time after. And I went into work the next day, and it was like, I'll never forget it, Tom. Like it was like I worked in a hardware shop, and there was like a pallet of lime that when they were carrying it in, they'd scraped it against the wall, and the back 40 bags of lime had all bust and just sort of flumped it out onto the ground. And I was handed a roll of black plastic sacks and a shovel and said, do the needful there. We'll get half price for that lime. And I was shoveling lime hungover from potching, not knowing what was happening. And I was there like, am I sick? Am I dying? Like, what the hell happened here? And like, didn't have the knowledge to know you're hungover, shithead.
Yeah.
You are hungover. This is what this is. You are hungover because you were drinking. And I got home and my mum was there waiting for me. She goes, name redacted. She goes, I got a call from so-and-so's mommy last night. He's very sick. Do you know anything about what happened to him? I goes,
wow. Her own son, obviously fucking, fallen soldier and all the rest of us back, gave the fucking riot act. And then he grassed you up, and then she went to grass you up to your own mother.
I thought I'd escaped it, and I got home, and Mommy was there, and she was like, now, so-and-so, he's at home, and he's very sick now. Did you know, was he drinking last night? And I was like, Mom, didn't see him the whole night.
Correct. Absolutely correct answer. Yeah.
That's how you fucking answer those questions.
That's how you
fucking tout. Where'd you get the drink? Don't know.
Snitches get stitches, bitches.
Don't know.
Are you fucking joking me? How dare you?
That's how you do it. Did you see him last night? No. Who were you drinking with? Don't know. And that's it. Who were you drinking with? Don't know. I got drunk and I forget. It's logical. Works for me.
Wow. Fucking wow. He took you down with him. Son of a bitch. Probably went.
No, he didn't. And in fairness now, I'd say he was getting absolute fucking dog's abuse. But like,
snitches get stitches, Jerry.
Nah. McBride didn't crack. Well, yeah, McBride didn't crack because the only person left to rat on was himself.
Fucking well done, though. A lot of fellas would have shit the bed because mothers can sell you a bit of a story like they have something on you, and then the next thing you're going, oh, Jesus, here we go.
Yeah.
I fucking have you.
And on an unrelated note, Mommy, okay, I don't want any dinner, and no, I'm not even going to stay here and watch Gladiators. I'm going to bed. I'm fucking dying.
Bad, somebody's bad when they won't watch Gladiators on a Saturday night.
There you go. Drunkest I'd ever been, Tom.
Oh, Deliver is hot after that now, after hearing that. My childhood memories coming to the surface. But look, I'm glad to see you made it through. It was a rite of passage that I think every Irish child has had at some stage, whether it be your style or actually some way normal, where you drink it.
I wouldn't be me without it, Tom.
It's true. It's true.
So anyway, Tom, hey, look, we got business to do. Do you know what we got to do? We got to let everybody know who's the special guest this week on our bonus episode, which drops on Thursday. Wouldn't you know it, Tom? My worst gig ever got a spin-off.
Yeah.
It's the Joey to our friends.
It's fucking doing better than Joey is.
It's doing much better than Joey.
People loved last week's guest.
Great response to last week's guest, Deirdre O'Kane. And here it is, folks. We're going to let you know who we have coming up this Thursday for you. Tom, we've got...
the tallest, strongest,
handsomest, all-rounder. Puts us to fucking shame. When we had him on the Zoom with the three of us, we were just there like a pair of fucking trolls, fucking Mary and Pippin over in the corner here.
It's true. But at the same time, he also topped us on two comedic stories about worst gig ever. It is
double. The lads are doubling up.
It is, of course, the mighty Niall Brezzy Breslin. What a man! The story.
This one will put the shivers up, Tom. I can't wait for everybody here. We had a great time recording. Brezzy is, of course, a singer. He's a presenter. He's a DIY aficionado in as much as you or I am, Tom. And we had a great time talking. So, guys, if you want that in your ear holes, hey, you know what? If you're a subscriber to the Tom and Jerry Show, you got to do nothing. It's going to land in your podcast feed on Thursday. You got nothing to do. If you're not a subscriber to the Tom and Jerry Show, fuck me, you better rectify that, Tom. You can pick us up anywhere you pick up a podcast.
Wherever you're listening to us right now, hit subscribe on it. Or if there's a special one you want to go to, like Apple Podcasts or like Stitcher, do it. It pops up. Literally, we are everywhere you find it. You're tripping over places where the Tom and Jerry Show is. We have a course you will see on our Instagram feed, the Tom and Jerry Show, ironically, coincidentally named. You will see that Jerry posted the prize that went out to the mighty Dave Walsh, who gave the best comments on last season, season 4. We're opening that one again. There will be another prize going out for the end of season 8, or season 8, to say, for the end of season 5.
Spoiler alert, Tom.
Spoiler alert. We're going all the way to season 8, even if we survive.
Well, we'll
be.
I know my fucking liver can hold up to this, Tom.
They will.
But yeah, by all means, follow us on the social medias to get us on Instagram, as Tom says, and you can see the wonderful merch that's available to very, very lucky people. If you leave us nice comments, you dickheads. You can also follow us on Twitter, where you'll receive pretty much the exact same content, but what the hell. And what else can people do? Leave us reviews, Tom. That's the other one. Yeah,
that's the one to win a cup, like Dave did last season. Leave a nice review, and I'm telling you, if you're not on Stitcher or Apple Podcasts, I believe are the only two that'll let you leave. Don't worry about that. Just take a screen grab of wherever you're listening to it. Some people have sent me videos of them listening to it, and I'm kind of going, I get it. Yeah, I write something. So write something cool, something funny. We've gotten a couple of good ones in already, and write something cool or funny over the screen grabber where you're listening to it, and that'll go on the hat. End of season, you will get yourself a badass mug.
And if if you like the show and you want to help us out, and you're not inclined to, type 10 lines out on a thing, you just couldn't be bothered, just tell your pals. Just tell anybody. Next person you see, next week you go to, you're sympathizing with someone, the new protocol, shake the hand, say, I'm sorry for your trouble. If you need cheering up, I have a podcast for you, right?
There you go. Also, share it on your own platforms. That would be great. Now, we will be back to you on Thursday with the mighty Brezzy, everybody.